guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, Raising Rebels. I am Alana and I'm so happy that you're here. I am slightly sick today, but I have kid-free time today, and so I thought I would hop on and, as promised, share my review of the YOTO that I was talking about in my last video where we decided to go TV free. So we're gonna get into it. So I originally came across the YOTO when I was looking for some audiobook players. After we decided to go TV free, our kids really got big into audiobooks and podcasts. We listened to them on our Alexa literally every single day, like multiple times a day. And so I knew that they would really like audiobook players, and so I started researching and I came across something called the YOTO. I had certain things in mind that I really wanted. I didn't want it to be like gimmicky. I didn't want it to feel like a toy. I wanted it to feel like it was an audiobook player. So I knew a couple of things. I knew that I wanted 2 players because we have one Alexa in our kitchen. And sometimes that's okay. They both want to listen to the same story, but then we come to the same conflict that we did with the TV where they want different things at the same time. And so that was a struggle. So I knew that I wanted to find something that had 2 players. I knew that I wanted it to be easy and kid-friendly for them to access their own content. I wanted them to be able to use it independently. So with the Alexa, sometimes like Finley can use the Alexa, Trip can't. Sometimes there's a specific episode of the podcast that they're on, and so I have to like step in and help them find it. So I wanted something that was more independent and kid-friendly for them to use and for them to make the decisions, and they didn't have to constantly be asking for help to be able to use it. And I also wanted no screens and no games. I wanted nothing nothing like that. I know that there was another audiobook player that's pretty popular, and I can't think of the name of it right now, but they actually have little figurine toys that sit on top of the audiobook player. And I just felt like that would very quickly take away from the purpose of the audiobook being a story to listen to and to use your imagination, you know, and not necessarily be focused on like these little figurines. I just knew I wanted something different than that. And so I came across the YOTO, and they have 2 different players. So they have their original YOTO player, and then they also have the mini. And there's not a whole lot of differences. The original player is larger and it's better for using it at home, whereas the mini is smaller and it's better for on the go. And I knew that I wanted something that they could easily take out of the house for car rides or, you know, just any reason that they wanted to take it somewhere. I wanted it to be easy to do that. The original player also has a battery charge of like 10 hours and the mini has 20. So that right there felt like a huge win for the mini in my eyes. I would much rather charge something less. It's less things I have to worry and focus on, and that is important to me. The original player also has a magnetic charging block, which is really cool. And then the mini has just a typical USB charger, which is also perfectly fine. It was not a deal breaker for us. They have the same amount of storage, which is 16 gigabytes. They also have the same access to the app and to all of the same free content on the app. And then another difference is that the original YOTO player does have a night light, and that also was not a deal breaker for us, mainly because like we still co-sleep. Trip is still in our room, so he doesn't necessarily need a special nightlight. Finley has her own nightlight already. It just didn't feel like something that we really needed. So, and then price-wise, the original YOTO player is $100 and the mini is $70. So not a whole lot of differences other than the size, the charge, the actual charger, and the nightlight. And none of those things felt like huge deal breakers for us to get the original player. If anything, I was really more geared towards the mini because it had a longer battery life and it was smaller and better for on the go. And those two things were important to me. So I'm going to show you the YOTO because I feel like maybe not everyone knows what they might look like, or sometimes it's just easier to look at something. And so basically this is the player, and it comes with, well, you have to purchase them separately. I should take that back. These little cards. Can I get that to focus? These little cards. And so it's so easy to use. You literally just insert the card like a credit card. And they're not super flimsy. Like, you could probably cut this with scissors, but you can't snap it in half. It's not going to just break on its own. So I love that. They're really durable. That's great because my kids can be rough. I do want to show what it looks like when you turn it on. It has this button on the side. There it is. And it also has the clock. And the day. It's just super cool. And so when you're listening to stuff, there's the volume. When you're listening to stuff, like say it's a Marvel card with like different superheroes on it, it will show you a little, I'm gonna show you guys, okay? It will show you like who is talking, or like whose story is it. So
the new Spider-Man in town.
And then we're gonna change it.
He was a young boy, just like any other, working hard, journey to justice.
So I love it. You know, it still gives them something that they can physically see when listening. So like Trip loves it when it's Spider-Man on there, and some of the simple songs just have cute little pictures like a heart or a bird or a tree. And it also lets them know then what stories they want to go back to. Like Trip has a couple of favorite songs, and he knows like the one I really want to listen to is a heart. And so that makes it cool too for kids that are younger that maybe can't necessarily remember like, oh, I was on chapter 4. Like they'll remember, oh, I was on chapter star. You know what I mean? The prices of the cards kind of range. So there's free cards, there's digital cards that are like cheaper, like maybe $1 or $2. Now you're not going to get a physical card then. It's going to be connected to your app, and so then you'd have to go on your app on your phone and put that on for your kid. I'm going to show you. So here is the YOTO app, and you can see all of the cards that we have purchased show up on there. And then you can also scroll over, and there's free content. This is how to make your own cards, which I'll get into in a minute. Here are some podcasts. Super cool. Radio and music. And then they also have like white noise, brown noise, vacuum cleaner, all that kind of stuff. If your kids just want to listen to something, maybe they're trying to fall asleep. So if you were to purchase a digital card, this is where it would show up. It would show up in your YOTO library, and then you would be able to put that card on for them to listen to. So the physical cards then, I definitely prefer, only because that was a huge selling point for me, that it was so easily able to be used by the kids themselves, and they don't have to like ask permission or you know, like look at a screen to figure out what they want to watch. I really wanted to be screen free with this. Not that the digital is like bad, because that's still great. There's still tons of free content on there, and if you're trying to save some money, or there's a certain story or song or podcast that you really want that's digital, there it is. So they range from free to about $13 a card, which I feel like is pretty similar to buying books. So it doesn't feel overpriced in my eyes. That's the price range. And then they also sell bundles of cards, so that could be like, 3, 5, 10 cards. And that could be like a collection of stories. It could be a collection of music. It literally, they have so many options. And the price range for that kind of varies from like $14 on the low end for a bundle to like $40, $50, $60, which again, I feel like really lines up pretty well with physical books. And I did take a look because I wanted to see like what the average price was for bundles, and I feel like it falls around like $30 to $34 for bundles, and that's usually like 3 cards. So again, like that's like a steal in my eye. And I did mention before that they have make your own cards, and so this is what that looks like. And basically, it's just like it sounds. You can make your own card with whatever kind of content you want. I know that there is some like legal stuff in there that you do have to purchase the content to put on the card, or you could do things like read your child's favorite story and record it and put it on the card, and then they can listen to you reading the story. Or maybe you have grandparents that live far away and you have them record themselves read a story, and then you can put it on their card and they can listen to, their grandparent that lives far away reading them a story. So I think that's really cool. And I also like it because you can add content on there that maybe YOTO doesn't sell yet. Like, I'm on a couple of Facebook groups for YOTO, and like everyone really wants Bluey, and they don't have a Bluey card yet. And so there's been a couple of people on the Facebook group that have figured out ways to put Bluey on a make your own card. And so I think there's just a lot of possibilities there. You could do music, like you could have yourself singing their favorite lullaby. The possibilities are really kind of endless there, and I really like that. They also do sell packs of the make your own cards. You do get one free one with each YOTO player that you buy, and I think it's an hour of content. I want to say it's 60 minutes of content that you can put on there. I'm going to have to double check that as well. We have not made any of our own cards yet, so I don't completely know the process of that or how it works. But I do think it's really cool, and we are going to utilize it at some point. So the kind of content that they do have is a lot. Seriously, a lot. They have thousands of cards. They have anything from music like Kids Bop or Simple Songs, which are 2 of our favorites. Disney, Pixar, Gruffalo series. Like, I can't even like list everything that they have. They have superheroes, they have Marvel, they have princesses, like they have everything. They have the classics, they have Winnie the Pooh, they have literally any kind of topic or genre you can think of, they have. They don't have Bluey, okay? I know that. But for the most part, there's so much. They also have some different accessories. Like, we ended up getting this travel case, which is really cool. Let me zip it up so I can actually show you. It's really cool. The straps are adjustable. It does only come in this one color, which is fine. And really easy to open and close. So on the inside, it does have a spot for the charging cord, and then it also has these little pockets that the cards fit perfectly in, and we just kind of store them in there. They do also have some travel cases. They have, for the actual cards themselves, they do have like card magnets. They have little traveling cases for just the cards. This worked for us mostly because we weren't entirely sure like how much they were going to love this. You know, we don't want to go and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on accessories for something that maybe isn't going to be as big as a hit as we thought it was. We were wrong. It was a huge hit. So we could have purchased more accessories, but there's plenty of time. And then this is where the YOTO itself goes. So it fits in so nicely right there. There's also this port right here for headphones. So unfortunately, when I ordered this for Christmas, the headphones were out of stock. So I had to go get just regular headphones off of Amazon, which work fine. They're great. But our little charging port does not fit through that little hole perfectly. So they can't do that. But in a perfect world, if you had the YOTO headphones, you would be able to put your YOTO in the case with the card, slide your headphones through, and carry your case with your headphones on and have everything be connected and be totally hands-free, which is awesome. This can also hook up to Bluetooth headphones. It can be used as a Bluetooth speaker. It's amazing, okay? I seriously mean that. And I want to say that the price for the traveling case was like $35. I can't remember what the price for the YOTO headphones were, but I got these off Amazon for like $17. Some of our favorite cards that we have gotten, like this Simple Songs, huge hit. It is adorable music. We have some Spider-Man 5-minute stories. We have Marvel 5-minute stories. We have Encanto. Like, there's just so many options. And to start with, we got them each, I think we got them each 6 cards. And they loved them. And we very quickly started ordering some more because it was a huge hit. And then there's also radio cards, which are really cool. I did want to share about that. If I could find one. So this is like what the radio card looks like. This is live radio music. So there's one downside to this. This cannot be used in the car. This needs Wi-Fi to work because it is a live radio station. Whereas the other cards, like Little Mermaid, do not need Wi-Fi to be used. You just put it in the YOTO, you hit play, and you're golden. But certain things that are live on the YOTO, like podcasts, a live podcast that is, the radio stations, they need Wi-Fi to work. So that is something good to know. We were in the car one time and they wanted to listen to their radio cards and they wouldn't work. And so I realized that those are the one cards that need Wi-Fi to work. So overall, these have been amazing. I seriously mean that. My kids use them every single day. You can play it out loud. You can play it with headphones. It has a volume adjustment. It also has parental controls in the app for all different things. So if you wanted like a nighttime setting to turn on at a certain time, you can do that. You can do the same with a daytime setting. You can have it locked so it only goes up to a certain volume so your kids aren't like blasting their eardrums out. Like there's so much in the app as well that is beneficial to have, I think, and my kids love these. These have been a great replacement for some downtime when we would typically watch TV. We can just listen to a story or some music. I am so happy with this purchase, and I wish that I would have known about these earlier because they're just great. And I wanted to mention one more thing, that they are geared for ages 3 to 12. Trip is 4, Finley is 7, and Hayes is 1. And honestly, he shows a lot of interest in these. And I don't think it would be impossible for him to navigate one. Like if he just had like 1 or 2 cards that played nursery rhymes, he could easily put the card in and out. He wouldn't be able to adjust the volume correctly, but again, you can have the parental controls where he's not gonna like blast it up the whole way. So I do think it would be great for kids of any age that are like physically able to hold a card, insert a card. I think that they have it for ages 3 and up because it does have these buttons, these dials that turn for the volume and for changing the station or changing what story or song you're listening to. I think it wouldn't be totally impossible to pop one of these off if you tried super hard, and babies are notorious for like doing that kind of stuff. So I think that's why it's geared towards ages 3 and up. But I don't think it would be like impossible for a 1 or 2 year old to also use it and enjoy it. I give it a 10 out of 10. Seriously, it's one of the best things we've ever spent money on for our kids. I love these. Seriously. They have been life-changing for us, especially going to a TV-free household where we don't have that kind of entertainment in our lives anymore. This has really filled that void for us. It has been great for nap time and bedtime when my husband is working and I need to put the baby down and I need something for my older two to do that keeps them, occupied long enough for me to do that. These have been them. They have been amazing. So I am going to post the link in the description so that you can go check out YOTO's website. I'm not sponsored, okay? I wish I was. Like, please sponsor me. That would be amazing. I'm not sponsored. I seriously just love these so much. I swear by them. We will use them until they completely fall apart and we need to buy new ones. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any other questions about the YOTO, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. I tried to make sure that I got as much information as possible that I could because I know that I've had some questions about the YOTO player, and so here are the answers. And if I've missed anything, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.